What's up, everybody? Lennon here with Sound and Patterns Music. Thank you so much for being here. If this is your first time to the channel, I want to say thanks a lot. I am a composer, producer, and musician. I started this channel to document my process as well as offer up some business tips, tutorials, things like that will help you survive in the new music industry. So I wanted to do something kind of fun for the Easter holiday, and I ended up coming across this video on YouTube of this rabbit making these really weird noises. When I watched it, I really didn't know what to do with it, and honestly, there's not many videos of rabbits doing any sort of sound except for screaming. And so I thought, well, I don't really like the screaming thing. It seems a little too intense. And what's funny is the way that this song ended up, it probably sounds way more angry than it actually is, but I thought it'd be cool to kind of build a beat around this. And so what I ended up doing is just kind of looping it to see what happened. And it turns out that the rabbit, in a certain amount of time, kind of just has a phrase to it already. So I ended up running that through Melodyne to kind of give it a little more of a pitched or kind of computer programmed sonic quality to it, I guess. And then filtered a bunch of stuff out, grouped it together, put an octave on it, and then actually a harmony of it underneath. So there's another rabbit here that's playing the third above that. So it sounds a little more like a riff. And then I took that and resampled it and ran it through a vocoder and got this interesting sound. Which I thought was pretty cool. Obviously that's got some effects on it, and I'm not gonna go through all the details here. I just kind of wanted to give you the idea of how I went about this. From there, I ended up coming up with kind of a textural layer that's made up of an old sample of my daughter's voice, which I'll play for you here. And then here it is with all the effects on it. So I doubled that up, kind of used it as a little textural layer, and put it in like this. Now that's all being sidechained as well by a kick that's pulsing through, but you can't really hear it. I do have a point where I kind of bring it into the arrangement, but I ended up coming up with kind of a groove to go over top of this as well. And then I found this loop on Splice that I ended up throwing in there, really compressing it pretty hard and throwing a bunch of saturation on it so it sounds pretty distorted. And then, of course, some bass. And then from there, I worked out the arrangement just to kind of add some little differentiations. I threw in a reverse snare to kind of build in the transition, and then just a couple little extra textural type things to hopefully keep things moving long enough to keep your interest for about a minute. So here is the full track. I hope you dig it. I want to say thanks again for being here. If you have any questions about this track, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to answer those for you, potentially in a future video. And if you dig this content, please consider subscribing, hitting that notification bell so that you know when the next video is coming in. I'm doing videos every week, music business, tutorials, music, things like that, vlogs, all of the above. I really appreciate you being here, and I'll see you next time.
One morning, as she sits guarding the door, White Rabbit, her cousin, comes hopping over from the farm. "Come with me to the farm," says White Rabbit, "and we'll have a dinner of tender green lettuce." "Lettuce," says Gray Rabbit, "how lovely." There is danger in the woods, so through the trees and bushes they quietly hop. Suddenly, stop, warns Gray Rabbit. I smell our worst enemy, the fox. I must go back and guard my bunnies.